Greetings, everybody. Right back at you here at Railroad Nail Boxing Talk. And like we say here at Railroad Nail Boxing Talk, we don't just praise fighters with pretty records. We praise all fighters who get in the ring and fight hard. You could be 14-9, 38-0, or 17-10. If you out there knocking sweat off somebody's head, making the crowd want to come see you again, then your light will shine here at Railroad Nail Boxing Talk. What's up, boxing fans? David Benavidez versus Demetrius Andrade. Let's talk about it. Now, the way we see it here at Railroad Nail Boxing Talk, this is the next biggest thing in boxing. I mean, this is the last biggest thing in boxing to me. With something this year that's better, I mean, unless boxing can match this fight here, it's the last of the last. Because we done had Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence. We done had Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia. Now, we could get some fighters that's in the woodworks, but we're going to talk about that later. Let's get back to David Benavidez versus Demetrius Andrade. Now, I see this kind of as a 50-50 fight, but to be honest with you, I think Andrade fighting somewhat of an uphill battle because David Benavidez has been at 168. David Benavidez got a lot of power and skill. Demetrius Andrade's got a lot of skill and a little power. He ain't just stopping guys like Benavidez. And Benavidez been at the weight. So I'm going to give that edge to Benavidez. But one thing I can say about both of these fighters, neither one of them has ever been dominated. So I'm going to call this one a 50-50. And I like both of them, so really, it's a win-win situation for me. If Benavidez win, that's a win. If Andrade win, that's a win. But let's break it down. Which, the breakdown to me is obvious to everybody. Demetrius Andrade got skill, he got angles, he got some pop, he got a lot of boxing IQ, educated legs, and David Benavidez also got skill, got a lot of pop, he got hella pressure. It's kind of like, this fight reminds me of the David Benavidez versus Caleb Plant on steroids. Meaning that I feel like Andrade is better than Caleb Plant, got a little more pop, and got a little bit more meanness. So David Benavidez is going to have to be a little bit, he's going to have to bring a little something extra than he brought against Caleb Plant. Because Caleb Plant did manage to get a lot of shots off on him. He did manage to have a small amount of success, but I think the ref let Caleb hold just a little bit too much. Just a little bit too, a lot too much. I ain't gonna say a little bit, I say a lot too much. To the point where it became obvious that was a strategy for Caleb. I don't expect Demetrius Andrade to come in holding. I expect Demetrius Andrade to come in and win a lot of the early rounds like he do in most of his fights because he is dominant in the early rounds. I have never seen him lose the first 5 rounds of his fight. I haven't seen Andrade lose many rounds. I have seen David Benavidez get hit, but to me, David Benavidez giving up punches is a trap. He pacifying guys so they can get their legs still enough to where he can trap them, because he can take those punches. And I just saw him in the interview with Fight Hype saying he gonna hurt Andrade with a black eye. He had a black eye, and he was talking now. It's a trip, and he the only guy I think I'll let get away with that. He come out with a black eye saying what he gonna do. Well, I think he'll back it up. I think that lets me know that he been doing a lot of good hard work in the gym. I don't think he been getting beat up like that. I think he willing to take them punches. And I think that black eye gonna show what's gonna happen in the fight. He gonna take some punches from Demetrius Andrade. He gonna take some punches. And that's gonna allow Demetrius Andrade to be a stable opponent for him. I think he's expecting to do that, to stabilize, to pacify Andrade, to get Andrade to be still so he can land that signature left hook to the body, them double, triple uppercuts he be landing, that nice little quick jab he got, and it's going to be a slugfest. And I got to say kudos to David Benavidez coming out with the black eye, because how many guys ain't ashamed to come out with a black eye and do an interview with no shame? That lets me know this guy tough. He don't mind taking punches. He coming out ready to go to war. Like he said, like Andrade saying, like Benavidez saying, we don't expect this to be no easy fight. And I think the fans are anticipating this fight. I wish we could get more fights like this, but hey, this is boxing. So I see it as a 50-50 fight. I give a slight edge to Benavidez because, like I said, he's been at this weight. I think this will be Andrade's first fight at 168. And we'll see what goes down. I still say 50-50 because these are dominant fighters, both of these fighters. Now, if I see anybody getting stopped, it'll be Andrade. But if I see somebody getting outboxed, it'll be Benavidez. And I think that's how most fans see this fight going. I think that's how everybody see it. We don't expect Andrade to come out and try to slug with Benavidez. That's suicide. And I think most fans don't see Benavidez coming out trying to outslick Andrade and outdo him in the leg movement. Nah, that wouldn't be wise. We expect Benavidez to use his pressure, trap Andrade, and weaken him with his body shots, discourage him with his other punches, and eventually trap him. We expect Andrade to be on the move, pot shotting, hitting, jabbing, discouraging Benavidez, trying to throw him out of his game, catch him off balance, and all of that. The question I want to ask is, who on the undercard? I think they done switched the undercard up 2 or 3 times. I don't think they have a lot of faith in Charlo making it. Neither do I. So I'm not going to do an undercard show until I'm sure who's on the undercard. But I thought Jaron Ennis was going to be on the undercard. I thought a lot of stuff. But in boxing, we already know that dates done changed. December dates done changed. This sport, I feel like it's on its way out. I ain't going to preach on that right now. I'm going to stick to the subject. I'm expected to see this fight between Benavidez and Andrade. I hope they have a good undercard because, it ain't looking too good for the game of boxing right now. I mean, after the Tyson Fury loss, the boxing game has been bashed. And I know it's going to be hard for these guys to get viewers after that. He made it hard for the whole sport of boxing. So let's see what happens, boxing fans. I don't want to keep it too long because you don't know me that well, but you will. And like we say here at Railroad Nail Boxing Talk, we don't just praise fighters with pretty records. We praise all fighters who get in the ring and fight hard. You can be 11-9, 38-1, or 22-10. If you out there knocking sweat off somebody's head, making the crowd want to come see you again, then your light will shine here at Railroad Nail Boxing.